We're going to talk cricket now. England play Sri Lanka again tomorrow at the Oval. Jon Norman has just returned from the Oval. He popped down there to hear from Brendon McCullum, the England cricket coach now of both codes. Good afternoon, John.
Afternoon, guys.
I take it he talked, Brendon, about this sort of new role?
He did, yeah. He speaks very well. I mean, he's always a reluctant speaker. Mm-hmm. He only ever fronts up to the press after England have either lost or at the end of a series. But of course, being such big news, what is customary is that the captain speaks the day before a test match, but that was moved to yesterday. Ollie Pope spoke yesterday and Brendon McCullum spoke today. And he covered a lot of subjects. He talked about his reasoning for combining the role. Said 2 years ago it would have been impossible. With the schedule now, he thinks it's manageable. He also feels more comfortable and more knowledgeable about the England cricket setup now after 2 years in the job, so feels like he's in a better position to do this. So that was quite interesting. He spoke about Ollie Pope and the captaincy and the burden on him, and he kind of batted that one away a little bit, rightly so. I'm not sure you can really blame 2 tests of captaincy for 4 innings of with poor return. He spoke about Jos Buttler, said he did appear to be a little bit miserable at times recently. He said it with a smile.
Well, but it was a bit of a joyless regime, the previous one.
No, not really. I think just losing sucks. Yeah. Yeah. And I think Brendon wants to come in like he did with the test team, which had won one test in 17 or something ridiculous. And just inject a little bit of joy back into proceedings. That's kind of what he does. Right?
How will he change how they play? Because obviously he's made the test team play pretty attacking, very attacking cricket. So what will he do to the one day team? Other than the 2020 team, what will he say?
I think he'll do the same thing. He'll just strip it all right back. And he'll say, just go and enjoy yourself. And I think along the way, the England white ball team have forgotten that. Just go and enjoy yourself. The other thing he said was that, look, this is we've just come to the end of a dynasty here with this white ball side.
Yeah, sure.
4 or 5 once in a generation cricketers. Ben Stokes, Jos Buttler, Johnny Bairstow.
World Cup winners,
World Cup winners, right? Incredibly successful. And that team has come to an end. And like in all sport, and this is why it makes sport so interesting, we're now at a different stage. And it's about identifying the players that have all grown up and have reached levels and shown what the level is by watching this great white ball team. And it's about bringing them in and going again. And that is something that really excites him. So, he covered a lot of ground and spoke very well.
We can hear from him now.
Oh, great.
This is Brendon McCullum saying he just couldn't turn the opportunity to coach the white ball team down.
Yeah, it's going to be an added workload, that's for sure. But that's all right. Sometimes the bets are worth it, right? So I think, firstly, when Keezy asked me, is there a world in which you can do all jobs across all formats, I sort of had a bit of a think about it and obviously chatted to my wife and then it didn't take a whole lot of persuading, to be honest. I think a couple of years ago when I came here, I didn't have a whole lot of knowledge about English cricket. I didn't know a whole lot of people, and fast forward 2 years, I've had a great time. Absolutely loved being in the position I'm in. I think I've got a lot more knowledge about the people and the talent that sit with English cricket, and also the structures and how things operate. And I've also built some great friendships with some of the guys, the coaches and the support staff, etc. So I know that you're not going at this one alone. You're gonna have some great support, and ultimately I looked at the opportunity and I thought, what a great chance to have good crack.
It's the job, John, that everybody thought he was better suited for in the first place. Everybody thought he'd be a great white ball coach, but I'm not sure about a test coach. But it's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's just down to the challenge. He kind of looked at that white ball side 2 years ago. They just won the T20 World Cup, I think, or they were just about to. And he thought, well, what do I need to do there?
Yeah.
The test side, he thought, well, it's quite evident what you do there. Now, of course, it's all flipped round. I felt for Jos Buttler a little bit in all this because, of course, Jos Buttler was a guy that was very baseball in his approach, right? But it just didn't really work in the setup that he was playing in. And then, of course, the moment he left the test side, Brendon McCullum came in, and it was like, and then the white ball side started to fall away, and you think, he must really be.
Yeah, but that's timing, isn't it?
He's going to miss this series against Australia.
He is. He's
which
got a calf
McCullum's
injury.
not in. Marcus Droskovic is looking after the team for this series, isn't he?
Correct. Yeah, he comes in for the white ball tour of India, which is going to be on talkSPORT. We've got that series live and exclusive.
Good.
So Bazball does white ball, I suppose. If you're listening, the branding team, marketing team, there you go. White ball goes Bazball.
Josh Hull, we're looking forward to seeing. 20 years old, 6'7", size 15 boots.
Oh, great!
Like Jack Bannister used to have size 15 boots.
Did Jack take really?
Yeah, he did.
Getting the old foot marks at 15,
not his toes coming out the end of the shoes like they used
Derek
to.
Pringle
Derek
style,
Pringle,
yeah.
He sounds like quite an interesting character, wasn't he? It wasn't really happening for him. He couldn't get a look in at county level at first. And Dean Headley, former England player, saw him play at schools level and could see a prospect. And here he is playing for England.
Yeah, he was, and he spoke about Josh Hull today. He said, look, we select players for different reasons than county sides do. And that's no disrespect or criticism about county teams because, of course, Shoaib Bashir plays for England, but Jack Leach plays for Somerset. Jamie Smith keeps wicket for England. Ben Folkes keeps wicket for Surrey. And now we're going to have this situation where Josh Hull's going to be playing for England, where his first-class record just does not bear scrutiny.
Yeah.
But listening to Brendon said, look, it may not work this test. It's not about this test. It's about where this player is going to be over the next couple of years.
Well, Gus Anderson, wasn't that Gus Anderson's first ever?
Atkinson,
first ever century, wasn't it? Ever in any?
Yeah,
in any first class setting. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think Gus Atkinson has played 3 back-to-back 4-day games, let alone 5 back-to-back test matches. No, that's not quite true. He's done
so
3
we can expect to see the same sort of boldness in selection with the white ball team. Then there may be a few sort of out of left field that we probably wouldn't expect coming into the squads at some point.
Look, I just think he's going to inject some energy, some drive, some passion's not quite the right word, but it's just going to be exciting again. And that will include some left field signings. But I think you get that a little bit more with the white ball side, don't you? Because for various reasons. But it just adds more interest to proceedings, I'd say.
Ben Stokes has been chatting as well, the skipper, and he was talking about prices. He feels it's time to cut the prices for test matches. I mean, what's the likelihood of that happening, John?
I think they'll reevaluate moving forward, but of course it's India here next year, so I can't see any reduction in test prices for day 4 for that series. Rightly so. Well, no, not rightly so. I was at Old Trafford and I walked around the ground one morning and I must have seen 10 kids. That's not good enough. You need to get the kids back. It's not good enough to say, they'll go and watch the 100 or T20 stuff. That's not how I walk going to cricket. So, look, reducing a ticket on day 4 at Lord's, if you think that's going to change much of Test cricket and its popularity here and overseas, I would disagree. You've got a situation that's happening right now where England tour Pakistan in a month, right? They're in Pakistan next month, or are they? They don't even know because Pakistan now, the story coming out is that they're looking to relocate one of the test matches to the UAE. Now, if you really want to safeguard test cricket, I would suggest you make it, when you tell people that it's going to be in a certain place, at least keep to the country.
Why do they want to move it, John?
Essentially, they need to redevelop some of their stadia ahead of a tournament they're hosting in February called the Champions Trophy, which, just to add to the madness of cricket, might not even be hosted in Pakistan because India are not going to travel to Pakistan. So, you've got this crazy situation. The TV rights haven't been sold yet because the tender was released so close to the start of the tournament. And you've essentially got a situation where the England cricket team are travelling to another country and they can't select their team because they're not sure if this test series is going to be played in that country. Wow. That's crazy. You come back and you wonder what's wrong with test cricket. That's wrong. And look at all the tour groups. Smile Travel, international cricket tours, Barmy Army. These guys, their whole livelihood is based on selling packages, going to these countries. Oh, sorry, guys. That package you sold to Pakistan, which has been in their Future Tours program for 3 years? Yeah, it's not happening here.
It's now in the UAE.
And it's quite symbolic. A series, because of the history around Pakistan cricket, a series in Pakistan is significant, isn't it?
But it's just basic stuff, right? That's basic.
Just add it to the list.
How are you going to have
not doing itself any favours?
You have the same thing in India. They don't even release tickets for these games. And you talk about the cost of Test cricket. Well, there are places in this world where you can go and see Test cricket for free.
Yeah,
and there still ain't people going.
John, you're going to be at the Oval tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking out the window. And
Yeah. I think.
I mean, it's like, is it night? Oh, am I on extra time?
I
Are you
think
Martin Kellner?
There's a grey sheen.
Wish
There's a
I had
grey
his
sheen
money.
on that window, but it doesn't stop the rain. No.
I think it's a bit better. Is it a bit better tomorrow? I don't know. Hope it is anyway.
You know that they're building a cricket ground in Tasmania, which is going to have a roof.
Nice.
Hey?
That's a good idea.
Why did I think of that 100 years ago?
Absolutely
That's
brilliant.
a good idea. Thank
Great
you, John.
idea. Put a
That's
roof
Jon
on
Norman,
Lords.
our cricket correspondent. He'll be bringing us regular updates of all the details of the teams and the toss at 10:30 during Jim and Simon's show, and we'll be getting regular updates throughout the day. We've got the birthday spread coming up next.
Oh, yeah.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.